Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Diederik. I'm a 5'1" splenic projector in the human design system, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about quadright, having all of your variables in the human design system into your chart. You can see there's 4 arrows. All your arrows are pointing to the right. This is what we call a quadright, and it's a very special experience. Ra Uru Hu, the founder of human design, talks about the quadright being almost a type on its own. It's also a type of the future, meaning the quadright is designed to take everything in its environment like a sponge. Even when I'm learning, I'm not meant to actually retain anything or focus on what I'm taking in. I'm meant to be present, not really know what I took in, until someone asks me a question and pulls it out of me. So it's this idea of being a reservoir of knowledge and information and to have other people pull it out. So I want to talk a little bit about what that feels like, living that in the lived experience in practical terms. Pardon me, I'm sweating a little bit. It's a warm day here. I just kicked the ball, moved my body, moved that splenic body, and just felt called to share. So I made a quadright video now almost 2 years ago. So I just wanted to give a little update on where I'm at with my experimentation as far as being a quadright. So one of the things that comes up being a quadright is this idea that people pull information out of me. And the type of information people pull out of me is dependent on, and these are Ra's words, the quality of consciousness of the person, their awareness. Meaning, he jokes, if a genius comes your way, you have a genius awareness and genius questions and genius insights that come out of you as a quadright. If you have someone that is maybe not as aware, that's what you're going to get. Now, I don't want to be, there's no judgment of who has a higher awareness or not. I think awareness in general is a broad term. I know for me, it changes all the time. I never think we are, it's always an evolving thing. It's even this idea that as we get to higher realms, higher consciousness, we automatically have to come back down to go back up. So it's this up and down. What I have noticed though, is there are people that just truly see me and recognize me as a projector. And I feel that on a cellular level. Now this can also be the 44. I have gate 44 in my unconscious sun. And the 44 is all about knowing on a visceral level who belongs in your life. In other words, who is healthy, because the 44 is a splenic gate, meaning this is all about your nervous system, your immune system, and who's healthy for you. And I notice that when I'm with those people, what comes and is pulled out of me, it has a different quality. Now, the way that's shown up in my work is I've really experimented with this since the last video, and particularly now I'm going all in. And what does that mean? I was watching this video on quadrightness by Leanne Wolf. She's got some great content out there. Leanne Wolf, Leann, Leanne Wolf. She was saying if you're a quadright, what you would want is you want people that are strategic working with you and for you to the point where all you have to do is just show up to a session or a webinar or a podcast. You just show up and whatever comes out of your mouth in that moment comes out of your mouth, and no, you can't repeat it. It only comes out once. And if you didn't record it, then you missed it. So being a quadright too is really such a experience in being present in what moves through you, what moves through me. Now, as far as going back to the business side of things, and I say business, I just mean creativity and sharing. Right now I'm here in Costa Rica. I'm here living in community with my best friend Daniel and his family. And Daniel is a generator, and he also has a defined ajna. And I notice me with my unconscious 44-24, unconscious sun and earth, this 24 is really about like rationalizing and coming to these insights. And when I'm with him, my quadrightness gets activated, this 44 gets activated. I just feel that he belongs in my life. And he's a world-class photographer, and he's great with filming and recording, and you'll see on this channel, especially recently, all that work is Daniel in the background. So shout out to Daniel for sharing his zone of genius with me. He's a 2.4 generator. And yeah, we just, we get excited about the topic we want to talk about, and we're like, okay, that's it. And all I have is a prompt, like one sentence, and I start the recording and we see what comes out. So a lot of the content in the last couple of weeks, if you check that out, whether they're shorts or long form, these are just pure in the moment things that come out of me. So I'm in the experience, and it's been really powerful to do that. So what I'm noticing is that for any quadright out there, one of the things that Leanne Wolf says too, you don't want to be distracted by your activity. It's this idea of like, being from Europe, we learn how to drive cars manually. So when you're taking driver's ed, driver's lessons, you do so manually. You have to shift gears and all that. And it takes a while. It took a while for me to get used to doing that. And I couldn't really see yet where I was going. Like, of course I did. I didn't crash or anything, but like, I remember like turning into a neighborhood street. I would miss like the speed sign. I wouldn't see it because I'm so focused on shifting gears. And eventually, once I figured that out, then it's almost like, wow, it goes automatically and I see everything. Now when I drive, I see absolutely everything. I'm not distracted by my driving. And the same is true in the work that I do. I don't want to be distracted by holding the camera. I don't want to be distracted by thinking about what I'm going to say. That's been the biggest distraction. So as a quadright, it really is a in the moment experience, not knowing what's going to come out of me. And in many ways, being a quadright relates to having the gate 48, gate of the well, the gate of depth, and this fear of inadequacy that comes with that, and this idea of like, you don't know what's in there until someone pulls it out of you. So you can go, the idea too with a quadright is you can go to a lecture and you're like, I don't know what I just listened to. Or you read a book, or I read a book, or listen to an audiobook. I'm like, I don't remember a lot from this. I remember a couple of things, but if someone asks me, stuff just comes out of my mouth. I'm like, oh, I guess I must have listened. And back to that fear of inadequacy, it's like sometimes, when I'm by myself and I'm thinking about what I'm doing, it's just like, who am I to be doing these things? Especially with the 48, there's this idea of like, let me get more certifications, let me get more training, and then never really going out there and doing the thing. And this is me doing the thing. Like, guys, I'm also just being open, like, the biggest freedom that I've embraced comes from this idea of I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that this is what I'm doing. And the quadright experience is very much like that, and it does depend on who pulls it out of you. And that's why, especially as projectors with a quadright variable layout and architecture, cognitive architecture, I want to make sure that I have the right people with me that constantly pull this high quality out of me, because I experience it as they pull it out of me. If I'm a well and someone pulls water out of my well, I'm drinking that water too. So my question is, what water do I want to drink? What kind of conversations do I want to have? I know one of the things that I know that has always been hard for me is just negativity. And I don't mean like to bypass, like there are shitty things that happen. Let's talk about that. But let's not, always be complaining about, how much things cost, and even politics too. I've had my bout of being in politics, like talking about politics and taking that in deeply. Especially the continuous negative talk, I can't do that. Like, I just noticed that it comes out of me and it just feels yucky. It's not a fun energy. It's a victim energy. And I'm not saying I'm free of that, right? I'm human too, or at least mostly, as I always laugh. But back to being the quadright, I just notice that it really is so dependent, not just who it's pulling out of me, but again, who I'm working with, who I'm talking to. So my advice to any quadright from a practical standpoint is to really, really listen to your strategy and authority, or really your authority in this case, or follow your strategy, listen to your authority. For me, it's splenic, and I just know, like, there are people I love to death, but they are not my fractal. They are not my in the 44. They are not my body is telling me on a visceral level, this person is just not fully my person, and it's tough. It sucks, and I say it sucks because I'm human and I love being around people and I love people, and sometimes it's like, oh, my mind is like, yes, this person, and my body is like, no, not this person. I'm like, damn. And that's where the faith comes in. Like, well, are these people going to show up? And what I'm going to tell you is, yes, they do. Yes, they do. I'm so fortunate to be in a partnership with someone that truly, truly sees me, to be working and living with people that truly see me, that challenge me. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the quadright. You know, I've set up the way that I put out content and the way that want to work with people by working with my generator friend Daniel. I've got a projector friend helping out in the background as well, and working with another projector he's a human design expert. We've been working together for 5 months now. Been loving working with him as well. And you know, I remember having a session where we were trying to get clarity on what the mission and vision is of the work that I'm here to do, right? I'm a 5-1, I'm a 4426. It's a channel of the, design of the transmitter, a channel of surrendering to the message that comes through. And as a 4426, I'm here to look out for the health of the tribe and make sure that the tribe survives into the future. And being a 5-1 as well, having those heretical solutions, right? And I don't know what's in there because of that quadrightness and because of that gate 48 activation in me. And I remember having Kyle, my projector friend, and Amber, my projector friend, having them on screen, asking me questions, and all of us just being present on what comes out of my mouth to get clarity on what it is. That's when we get the clarity. And it's funny because when it comes out of my mouth, I'm surprised by it sometimes. Oftentimes. Because I don't know what the next word's going to be. Even when I'm talking right now, I don't know what the next word is going to be. And that's the surrender that comes from this 4426 channel that I have, my only channel. And so what I do want to say, being a quadright, it also depends on your type and your definition and your profile and all of that, right? There's just so many nuances to being a quadright. But it is this idea of being passive, being receptive in the environment, and this continuous deconditioning of not feeling guilty to be resting, to not be busy, because this is not a busy thing. I believe it was the quadrightness. It may have been the 4426. I'm not sure, but it was Leanne Wolf that said something like, it's not how much you do, it's what you deliver and when you deliver it, right? So yeah, it's been a journey. So this is what I got for the quadrightness. Curious what comes up for you guys in your quadright experience, and I look forward to catching you on the next one. Ciao.